Hi guys, it's me, just Machine again, and for this video, in which I'm dedicating it to the ReBoot vlogs, which I haven't done for a while now, I shall be covering episode 5 of season 1 of this fabulous show, and the name of this episode is the TIFF. Now, this is one of the more well-known episodes, in my opinion. For whatever reason, I don't know. Maybe it's because of the animation, or because of the part about the game that's featured in it, the prison escape themed game, or it could be the fact that the episode features a little argument between Dot Matrix and Bob, or it could be the reference to the famous sex hotlines of the 90s and the 2000s. I think that they began in the 80s too, but I'm not sure about that. But yeah, this episode is quite interesting, and let me just explain to you guys what TIFFs are. TIFFs are basically little arguments where people don't end up talking to each other for a little while, maybe a month, maybe a year, or something like that. But it's not to the point where they get like Hulk level pissed off at somebody else. It's just little arguments here and there over whatever, minor things. Like I said, not the point be violent or anything like that, but it's still an argument nonetheless. So anyway, this episode is started out with Dot and Dot having a business meeting calls and video calls in her diner. Place that she works and owns. And the thing is that one of the calls that she gets is an alert that says that she missed her flight to sector, I forget the number, 0.01 or something, which doesn't make any sense to me because this mainframe is supposed to be its own little computer city. So it's like a big city with like parts and districts and all that stuff to it. So to have a flight within your own city is kind of stupid to me. It'd be like taking a flight from Queens, New York to Manhattan, New York. That's like one of the biggest cities of the country, so it's very similar to that. It's very pointless and very stupid. Plus, you could probably take public transportation or walk the distance from where you are right now to another sector, or the sector in question. So anyway, the point is that Dot is overworked, and when Bob comes into the diner with Enzo, he mentioned that the woman is too overworked, too strict to spend on the schedule, and then she chews Bob out for letting let Enzo become too reckless with time. And still got like languages and all kind of silly work for him to do by a schedule. We all know this one person who's got the kid's life planned out ahead of time, minute by minute or hour by hour, whatever. You have to do you have to mow the lawn, and then you have to do the dishes, then you have to go do your homework, you gotta do this, that there's like, you know, there is, keeping the kids' schedule regimented and all that is always important. But you gotta let the kids grow up a little bit and have fun. And, anyway, they also bring into the argument that because Bob is so like Daisy and let everything go by the seat of his pants, it's kind of, the opposite of Dot, in that he's too unscheduled, like he said, play at the seat of his pants. I'll do it when I feel like it type of thing. And that's okay too, we can't take the other extreme too. But there's one thing that happens during this little argument that goes on. Besides all the name calling and everything else. They forget to mention that when it comes to what the kid's best interest is, it should be Dot that takes priority over this, because she is Enzo's biological sister. So I would think that blood comes over, some acquaintance that they don't get, like Bob or whatever, Fong or whatever the case is. I do feel that they don't bring that up in this little conversation they have. That my little brother might choose to rule over him. And you're just a mutual friend. A good friend, but still friend nonetheless. If later on they would have their own kid together, that'd be a different story. But as far as I'm concerned, Dot rule over the roost of the end of the upbringing as far as that goes. Also to note is that when the reason why Bob was so late in delivering Enzo the torture device known as his sister was because of they stopped and did some circuit racing. It sounds very fun, like on the level of go-karting. It sounds very fun to me. Anyway, they get into a fight and stuff like that because she's too uptight, too overwhelmed, and he's too like Daisy to not something nonsensical. So anyway, they end up fighting over this, get insulted and all that. And then Bob and saying Dot that, I'm gonna leave you alone. I'm not gonna come back into this place again. I'd rather kiss and all than come back here again. It kind of bites her in the ass eventually. And bites her in the ass too. Because after he leaves, the tail opens up. An unstable energy force. And the funny is that it comes out of her Diana's kitchen area, that spot in the middle of the bar area, like the kitchen. I'm assuming that's supposed to be like the energy output for the stove or for the heater device, which is kind of dangerous if you think about it. You always have this unstable source of power that could erupt at any moment now. So she tried to take care of it herself after it already pulled up the heating device, which is a bad move because she has Cecil hold the door open for her to scoot this thing out the door with the help of a stool. So she ends up pedaling it like you were pedaling like a little kid. Like, shoo, get out of my house. And she ends up blowing it up, like to the point that it's a big crater outside. And she ends up with a almost black face on there. And it's funny because, she's very, I could do anything without Bob and stuff until she ends up almost blowing up the dagger in herself in the process. So anyway, it's kind of funny that I put a tech joke on there because there's ABC, the ABC company that owns the rights to the show at this point, are very uptight over sexuality, particularly among the Dark Matrix. And the thing is that there's a famous mono boob thing which can have anatomically female breasts, but her butt looks fine. They made sure to get that perfectly fine on her in the skin tight pants. So anyway, they have that, and then they also have a little sensitive parts in this show. I don't know what they are, but that's one of the big ones. And it's just funny that during this whole thing when Bob is sitting there doing nothing in his house, fixing his car, which is one of the few times that we actually see the car there, beside the Medusa Bug episode and the Bad Bob episode, one of my personal favorites. They actually show him work on this piece of junk, which kind of foreshadows what happened in Bad Bob. But anyway, he's talking to Mike TV, and he goes like, you're tired, you're bored, or this and that, and everything. And they actually put in a reference to a TikTok line, which is very funny and rich coming from this show, being that they were so uptight about the sexualization of certain characters and things. That was actually really funny. But anyway, Enzo wants to get the two of them back together again because they were fun together. And they worked good as a team and stuff because Dot was more organized and Bob was more fun to be around. So he tried to get them together again. He tried to talk to the other binomes in the region, and they also want them to get back together again. Because somebody actually said that possibly Bob will be leaving the system. I don't know if that would be enough to make me want to leave the system. Maybe if a bunch of people hated him enough, because they are necessary. He is necessary to defend against Access Small and Megabyte, which for some reason they don't bring into this episode. Maybe the argument was enough for them for conflict. So anyway, they talked to Fang about this, and Fang provides with his fortune cookie advice. He said that tragedy, the way to bring two people together again is either through tragedy or through apology. So it's really funny that even though this is like a basic cookie cutter, fortune teller nonsense type advice. Even he doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. That's real funny. So in any case, and to come up with an idea about how to fix everything, he sent messages to both people about, that Megabyte kidnapped them and put them in the recycling center to be deleted. And he's all dressed up like a damsel in distress, like an old train robber type of thing, like a woman on the railroad tracks. And then they do like the acting of a Megabyte and doing like clockwork scene in Megabyte. And they end up successfully getting Dot and Bob to come to the recycle area. McPearson's, Old Man Pearson's place, which is the name of one of the writers or producers of this show. So anyway, they had him do that, and then until it going down the conveyor belt to be deleted in the recycle bin. It's very funny that you meet up with each other, two adults, and they're still too busy over hating each other and fighting with each other that they end up so the kid almost ends up being deleted and destroyed. And you see the look on his face like, this was a bad idea to put my life in actual danger because those two are so squawking like a bunch of parakeets over there. Not gonna help me out. Luckily, the dog Frisk it helps the kid out. And they end up getting more pissed off with each other, calling the other one basic, which I think the word basic in this case refers to being simple-minded, aka stupid or retarded or something like that. So anyway, we call it basic. I would so insult someone by calling basic. People would know what the hell I'm talking about. So anyway, it ends up becoming even worse than what it was in the first shot. So anyway, then ends up things have hit the words again about being united with tragedy or apology, and I find this very funny, but because this is a computer simulation society, I find it very adorable that instead of like a cartoon thought bubble, like we see them doing like in 2-dimensional cartoons and whatnot, it's actually a thought bubble, but it looks like 3D cubes of fun and background and stuff, and it's like a pulsate in and out of reality. So it's kind of an interesting concept that 3D people have 3D 3D thought processing. I don't think that they've ever done that before in this show. Just like when they show Bob's a banana machine, which resembles the one from George Jetson in the Jetson TV show. So anyway, they show that ends up gets another brilliant idea by having them by sending them like a hologram card just obviously put it on a Hallmark card that you would get for apologies, graduation, Mother's Day, Father's Day, all this birthdays, that kind of thing. So anyway, they're like, they're like, I forgive you, my friend. All that stuff. So they're ordered by these cards to meet at the park. But before I go on with this, I just want to say that I'm not 100% sure about this reference because I don't know if the movie was made at this point or if they used some random idea, but when Bob receives his from Dot, they have they have the delivery guy go to his apartment, right? And his apartment had like a big window to the outside. So when Bob opens his shade up, let the delivery guy come in, it resembles very closely what happened with the Fifth Element when Dallas Corbin opened the shade to the Chinese takeout guy, and he goes through a thing like that. Also, the car too, it's also holographic, like in the movie too. But I'm not sure which one came first. I think that maybe the Fifth Element movie came out before this episode came out, so that would make this a reference to that movie. I'm not sure about that 100%. So they meet at the park, and then they start having it again. They start having another fight again for something, and it turns out that a GameCube drops. The famous Escape from Alcatraz. Escape from Space Alcatraz. Which, by the way, you gotta say that I enjoy these games, that more, sometimes the more general and the more, like, put the generic game titles, like one's racing, one's, like a fantasy game, and all that stuff. One's a train game, you gotta beat the user or something or other in a train race or something. So the pretty generic games. But I want this game to be made. I want people to play Escape from Space Alcatraz. It sounds like a good idea in which the user has to break out of prison. And it's very awesome. It's very groovy. I'll get to that movie thing later on when we get to that episode, but it's still very fun. So anyway, they have it where they have two people arguing, and of course they have to have the part where one's the organized person, the one's like the clumsy person, with organization skills whatsoever. They all got meshed together to survive the game and beat the user. Among the other game strikes, and just went out, and they want to kill the people. So anyway, they had it where the user gets a key card said the place that Robin freezes famous 5 minutes, which turns out to be more like 20 episodes worth of animation, but still they play it pretty close to the 5-minute mark on its one, and they show that Bob has to get the power back on while what's her name? Well, Dot fixed it, takes on the user, and they actually take care of themselves in this thing with the alien monsters and whatnot. Now, I do find that the other alien creatures are like copy and paste. They only have 3 different models for these other prisoners. One's like a round thing with like 2 different shaped eyes, and then they have the other one that looks more like a spider creature, and then they have another one that's more of a cube with eyeballs on top of it. But that could actually be a way of showing how NPC characters can be very repetitive in certain ways in most big games. But I did find it interesting that the user is the only other humanoid character besides the 2 guards there. By the way, I love Bob and Doc's outfits in this, the official prison guard uniform, and it's really funny that they have bubble guns. Yeah, that's why I said bubble guns. In that when they shoot people, the pellets, instead of doing damage to people, they show they encase them in bubbles, and then make the eyes go crazy and stuff inside the bubble, like kind of like a status field. But for some reason, Dot and Bob are immune to the status field. They can still move around, and very funnily, whenever Bob tries to hammer his way out with glitch, kind of like a chain device almost, he actually uses glitch as a hammer, and he pounds it with it up a body too, like we'll really try to hammer something into the ground. It's funny. You only get out of this thing is with the pin, like a real bubble, which we because that 2 of the creatures have sharp legs, like pins. So anyway, Bob had to work on this cracking the code to get the power back up and slowly use it down, which he does. And Miss Dot Matrix is over there running around shooting the other prisoners and stuff with her bubble gun, and she's actually pretty damn badass when she does it too. She's like running around like this with guns in the air, rather than like this, and she Yoda codes to Bob in such a badass way, and then she creeps along there very stealthily, and she's very quiet and stuff, and it's really quite funny. And I just love the badass of the whole. And whenever you recite codes like that, it's +3, F1, 3, /D, wherever the code was, one does it as bad as she does. She knows this with the back of her hand. And she actually performed better at this than Bob does, because she knows how to be organized and how to be flight to see the pants, like Bob does. And Bob is more of a unorganized person. Takes it as it comes. Now, it's really funny that at the end of this whole thing, she actually punted the user and flipped him over her, like a wrestling move. And while she does it, she also takes away his key card. Now, I would assume that from a gameplay perspective, that you wouldn't be able to do that. You'd be like questioning why in a shooter game, why the NPC cards would be able to do this to you. Why they'd be able to wrestle you and get your passcode back and that kind of thing. But they do eventually, and he locks him into an escape pod with the key card. And without the key card. And there's this one part where Bob actually slams the door in front of the user to slow him down. And he gets stuck to the door, and he falls down like a Looney Tunes cartoon. And then she ends up getting the passcode from him, get the physical keys, like in Doom, and she ends up having to jump off the edge of the platform to reach the bottom in a very quick movement that she doesn't have time to make up a plan. Even though the express of it right there, which Bob earlier in the show said, I'll go this way, and then he bows out of the way. Oh, monster coming to get him. So anyway, I like the way they show that even though Bob is a guardian in the show earlier before they get into the game, she punches him in the face for calling her something insulting to them. It wasn't basic, something else, but then she uses that punch again for when the user is about to win. So it's like how hot not no shoot like a woman's horn. Anyway, that's really funny. So then she ends up having to jump off the balcony or like 20 floors or something, and then she said Bob said the glitch, anything. So it turned out that glitch knows what to do. He might remind me or something, because then he becomes like a trampoline and catches Dot before she falls and dies. She does like something where she pulls in her legs and then speeds up her descent or something. So anyway, Glitch catches her, lowers her fall velocity, and then she puts in the card right before it's about to blow up, with 2 seconds to spare. And then the computer that does the countdown says, "Thank you for stopping the countdown. Have a nice day." Now that could very well easily be a Spaceball reference when the ship was about to blow up at the end, and the thing said, 3, 2, 1, have a nice day. And then the guys in the ship say, "Thank you," and then they kablooey. When it's like they save themselves. And to surprise, everyone's surprised, the TIFF was over. They were saying, "Oh my God, you were so good. You were the best. Only because of your plan of acting, you executed so nicely." Now, yeah, I think that it's good that the TIFF was over and they're back to square one again. But I do feel that was to, that when they ended up making up and then having fun with each other at the end, it was kind of like they were overdoing it. Like they were rubbing it too much. Like, you know, like, "Oh, I love you. I love everything you do for me. You know, that you make great plan and this and that." I just think it was too over the top. And Dot did have some very cool moves when she was staring down an army of those creepy critters, and she shot both of her bubble guns like pow 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 as the enemies are charging her, and then she ducks back into the corner, and it's a bunch of bubbled enemies running past her, like 20 something enemies at once coming down the corridor at her. Now, this is really cool and stuff. It's a very bad movie, so I would like to see many more games like do that. People can do like independent shots like that, but you can and everything. But my question is more of a technical level. Okay, let's say that you have like 30 guys coming from a corridor in the trench. Okay, you will be able to shoot the first 5 of them in that corridor section, but then when they get past you and stuff, you still gotta do with the other 50 or so people behind them, the 25 people behind them. So, and these are pretty big targets, so the first 5 or so of them would take the shots. You might be able to get a few behind them, but then nobody behind those people would get affected by your shots. So, you know what I mean? So it'd be like the first couple would get hit, and the others wouldn't get touched by bullets. I also like the way they always make the, when they were having used it each other by this Matrix. It had like pow 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 from the second balcony down, and you see a trail of bullets and bubble shots coming after him, but he was too fast for that. That was pretty good. I liked what she took care of him with a non-conventional dressing move. So, let's see, well, there, I also like the pop culture references and the text hotline, and the fact that Bob also talks to the audience whenever he says like a bubble. He got a cool eye patch on his head. So does Dot. Which I'm not sure, but that might be a reference to the Scouters from Dragon Ball Z fame. The TIFF was awesome. It was a episode, and I believe that it's also the name of the something to do with computers, like the TIFF file. Which, by the way, she said, I can't believe the name of what this file means. And that's like real funny. This live show is full of type of references and Easter eggs that only computer nerds will be able to understand. And gamers too. But yeah, this is one of my favorite episodes for a reason. Because it's well known. Also, I gotta say that I think the user in this game world, in these freaking games, I think the human version of the user is the same for this game, as well as one of the train episodes, as well as other episodes in the future for some reason. I think it could just be like an avatar type thing, like when we make our own avatar, we can make it very similar to one another in different games and stuff like that. With different attire, with the same attire, the same features, same height, same for women breast size, for men it could be sexuality or something or other. So yeah, I believe that it could be like something like that, he has like this word avatar that he likes or she likes to use for multiple games under one username. So there's that. Anyway, I enjoyed this episode, and thank you for watching my video on this episode ReBoot. Episode number 5, season 1, TIFF, in all capital letters, TIFF is TIFF. This is a very fine episode, and as usual, I give that a happy face, seal of approval, because it's freaking awesome. It's wonderful, it's finished. I love the part with fun. Although, it's funny. He said that he won't give advice to people who beat his game, which happened to be Pong. Pong fun, but not in this case. I guess because multiple bright and people wanted information at once, over this emergency of Bob potentially leaving the system. If you like what you see here, or if you more on my channel, like, comment, share, or subscribe to my channel. Also contact me for future information on my videos by calling me or texting me at 631-707-3707. And you can also reach me by on my Instagram account at JJ Maelstrom. And my email is jjsviews@gmail.com. So I salute this show for being the first primetime full-length CGI creation. And it's very funny. But believe it or not, I spoke to somebody who was from Canada about this show, about my age more or less. He didn't know about this show at all. So I don't know why a guy from Canada wouldn't know about one of the biggest Canadian TV shows ever. with the age appropriateness and stuff. So I'll get it. Guess he must have been living under a rock or something. So anyway, I'm gonna make a video for him a little bit later too. Well, not about him, but more like what he said to deal with because So anyway, peace out, my brothers and sisters. I'll see you in the next video. All you girls and guys in Instagram. Sayonara. So long. See you, man. Arrivederci.